Fixing controller drift once and for all, let's do it. Hello and welcome back to Gears and Tech. First of all, I just want to warn you, this is probably going to be a pretty long video because we are about to tear down my favorite controller and try to fix stick drift. But before I do that, I want to cover some of the other ways to fix stick drift and why I'm even bothering with this controller. So most of you guys know that this is my daily driver. It is a Besavior controller. It's been modified with the Besavior backpack, which adds 4 back buttons. It does add programmability, turbo, macros, and all of that stuff, but I use it strictly for the back paddles. But I've also installed clicky triggers on here. I've also installed adjustable height thumbsticks from Extreme Rate. So this is a pretty highly modified controller, and it's been working great as my daily driver until recently when I developed stick drift. Now I'm getting drift on this side. It's mostly getting stuck kind of going left a lot. We're gonna hook it up and check exactly what that stick drift looks like. And to fix it, we're gonna use this. This is a Thompson replacement Hall effect stick. So this is a 2-stick pack. Now there are other Hall effect packs that you can buy on Amazon. The reason I'm going with Thompson is because I tried buying some of the other kits and the price looked okay. It actually looked really good. And it said this is 4 sticks. And I was like, okay, that's cool, that's perfect. But it turned out they only sent 1. And then I read the reviews and many people said, you know, it says 4, but you only sent 1. And 1 for 20 bucks is not a great deal. And this seemed like a better deal. This is a complete kit and we will do a quick unboxing in a moment. But what are some of the other ways to fix stick drift? Glad you asked. We're gonna actually show you once we open this up. I'll point at the different things and how they fix stick drift. But in my case, I just don't want to be opening and closing controllers. So I will be using the equipment that you see on the desk over here, which is a soldering station. We've got some soldering wick. We've also got some spare solder and the Thompson replacement kit. This is everything that I should need for this install. If you're looking at this stuff, you're saying, holy crap, I don't think I can do all of that. It's okay, you're not alone. I will show you an easy way to fix stick drift when I open this up for many of you. But again, I don't want to be opening and closing this all the time, so I'm gonna just go for the gusto and just do it. But before we can do all of that, we need to see where we're at. NordVPN. Maybe you've never considered a VPN before because they are only for criminals and people that have something to hide. But that is simply not true. VPN stands for Virtual Private Network. A VPN creates an encrypted tunnel for your data which protects your online identity by hiding your IP address and allows you to use public Wi-Fi hotspots safely. But if you have nothing to hide, why would you need a VPN? For secure online entertainment. Do you like gaming online? Well, forget about DDoS attacks and bandwidth throttling with NordVPN. It's a VPN that gamers love and it's very gamer friendly. Do you want a more relaxed evening of sitting back and enjoying a show? Watch your favorite TV series and movies without slowdowns. NordVPN can save your movie night by preventing your ISP from throttling your connection. Also, top secret tip, you can access shows in other regions that are normally region blocked by using a VPN and setting your home connection to whatever country the show that you want to watch is airing from. This works with Netflix, Hulu, and all of the major streaming companies to access those shows that normally you wouldn't be able to see. For private internet browsing, government agencies, marketers, and internet service providers would all love to track and collect your browsing history, messages, and other private data. The best way to hide it? Using a VPN to keep your data safe. For safe traveling, use NordVPN to secure your connection on public Wi-Fi so you can browse in full privacy even when you're far away from home. Hackers have many methods to steal your data on public hotspots, but with a VPN, your online traffic is invisible to them. Ready to give NordVPN a try? Click the link down below in the description for exclusive Gears and Tech offers and discounts on a brand new sign up. You can cancel anytime, but grab this deal before it expires Signing up through the link below does help this channel out a little bit extra as well, and we really appreciate your support. Let's get back to the video. We're gonna go to a website called hardwaretester.com, and it's basically just a controller tester. It's looking for a controller, so I'm gonna plug my controller in now, and then it should detect it right away. There's my controller booting up. Connect your gamepad. There we go. So now it knows that this is a DualSense wireless controller and everything. Now the thing that I'm interested in is down here, the analog stick. So the biggest thing is it sometimes just jumps, and it's my left analog stick. You can see it's kind of jiggly there, and it's usually when I push. Of course, now that I'm making a video, it's gonna make me into a liar, but it doesn't always center. There, you can see that. So here's the thing, if I hold left just a little bit, you can see, I'm gonna try and hold it so you can see that my thumb's not the problem. There, you see how I'm holding that there? And it's like going hard left, not so hard left, and it's going real far over, back and forth, and I'm not moving it. You can see that I'm not moving it, but it's like jumping around like crazy. It's super jittery. Now, if I go any other direction, I don't get those jitters. It's only left. If I go up, I'm fine. Down is fine. But as soon as I get into any variation of left, I get this weird jitter. You'd be amazed at how much this screws me up when I'm playing Call of Duty. It doesn't always go back to zero. Like even with a little bit, it's jumping. And so what I'm noticing is when I'm on screen, I will be sitting there and then all of a sudden I'll start like strafing to the left, and sometimes jump off a cliff, jump off a wall, whatever, and it's really not good. My right stick is actually still really solid, but because I'm going in anyway, I'm gonna change the right stick while I'm in there. So now that we've established that I do have stick drift, we're gonna just quickly open up the controller and get to the meat and potatoes of what this problem is. This is not gonna be a complete teardown of how to open up the controller, but if you want, you can pause the video at any point and see what I'm doing if you need to see it kind of close up. Keep in mind, this does have the Besavior backpack on here, so the install is gonna be slightly different, but pretty darn close. So I'll come back in a second when we've got this thing opened. Silly me, I can't open the controller because I haven't opened my Thompson replacement stick kit because I think it's got the tools that I need. So let's pop this open. Let's have a quick peek, see at what we've got here. It's got lots of goodies in here. There's extra stuff. Okay, that's it for the box. It comes with 4 thumbsticks. I'll take these out so you guys can see. Extra screws because everybody loses their screws. I promise you. They've got these rubber bands, which I'm not going to use. A little splitter tool. We've got some thumbsticks. Get more help. They've got a little card for that. This is what I actually need. This is the screwdriver. Now I have a bunch of these, but probably you don't. So if you buy this kit, it comes with the screwdriver, comes with the little tweezers. These tweezers are very, very cheap and they do not work very good, but they might help us for our purposes for this video. And this, which is what the most important part is. Now these are Hall Effect analog sticks, and they have high spring rates. They have your L3 and your R3 push buttons, and they should be pretty easy to install. And it comes with 4 of them. They're all the same, but there's 4. So there's enough to do 2 controllers. Now I only need enough to do 1 controller today, so I have enough to do an extra controller at a future date if I choose. And now, finally, we've got everything displayed where you can see, and we can finally open this controller up now. Okay, we've stripped the controller down to the base component. Now there's a lot of extra pieces here like this, which is the control board for the Besavior controller. You don't need to worry about that because you probably wouldn't have that. Even this, which is a ribbon cable, which I completely forgot existed. I will need to desolder that to get to the wiring that I need to for the actual thumbstick. But if we flip this over, you can see here's the old thumbstick, and here, we get the orientation correct, is the new one. So this is the one that we're gonna swap out for this. So the next step is as simple as pulling all of the solder off of here so that we can get this thing out of here. Now I'm going to look at desoldering these guys. so that they're out of my way, because I just don't want to have this whole controller here bothering me. So the best way to do that is to use my soldering station, which I have over here. Now, I got this on Amazon. It's not very expensive at all, and I should be able to just heat this up enough. And I want to remember black was on top. No, that is not. Oh, it did come off. Excellent. Oh, heat that guy up enough to pull that off. Heat that guy up enough to pull that off. Now you guys can't see this because of my fat sausage fingers. There we go. Now I can get this out of the way over here where I don't need it so I can see this. Now let's talk about one of the easier ways to fix controller drift. So the way that most people do is you just peel this thing off of here. You can get something in there and then pry it away like this. And then you can clean inside of here so that when, like, you take this out like this, and then we can get this guy off of there. And then cleaning this little metal thing up here and the carbon part in here with a toothbrush will usually clean that good enough that you can get rid of drift, and then you just clip that back on. This requires no soldering skills at all. And if I was a smart person, that's what I would do. And then you can do the other one too. Now in my case, this is the one I would clean because that's the one that moves when I go left and right. And that is the one that is causing me all the grief. So popping that out, cleaning this up, and then sticking this little wiper back in would fix the problem, usually. And that's the easiest way. The next way is with a drift fix circuit board that goes on the back here, and it will solder onto specific points here, and it has little adjustable turning pots to fine tune your drift. Now that wouldn't work for me because in my case, my drift is happening at like a weird angle when you're over here, which tells me that this is worn out and or filthy. But if you've got drift at a resting position, adding that circuit board will certainly help. But for me, I'm gonna just try and desolder this whole thing. So all I'm gonna do is identify all of the solder points, and there's a bunch here, there's 4 main points here, which are the legs that hold the body on, and then there's 4 right there. So I'm gonna just do them all real quick, and I'm looking at the wrong one. This is the one that I really need to fix. So I'm gonna go like this, and I'm gonna get to work at desoldering. At long last, we have got all of these guys out. Now you saw what I did there. What I did was separated the individual wipers like I showed you originally, and then I pulled those out separately so that all that was left holding this thing on were the 4 main legs plus the 4 connection points for the R3 and L3 button. So there's a lot of points on here, but when you're done, you can get them all off of there. We are gonna do some cleanup of here just with some solder wick, just to make sure that we don't have any extra solder kicking around here that shouldn't be. Just like that. And then if we wanted to, we could also use some isopropyl alcohol to clean this up, but ultimately, that is that. And then all you wanna do is re-stick these guys on. They're only gonna go one way. So you can't screw this up really once you get to this point, except if your pins are bent on this guy, which these are. So we're gonna bend those back and try to straighten that out, and then try it again, just like that. Don't wanna force anything. It's all gonna go nicely. A little bit of solder left in that hole there. So if I heat it up, I should be able to warm it up enough that the leg will go through, just like that. And there we've got one of these in. It's not soldered on yet, obviously, but it's in the hole. And then we can take another one and stick it in the other hole. This one should go a little bit easier because I think I cleaned it up easier. Or not easier, cleaned it up better. Now, how hard is this, and should you do this? Well, we'll talk about it once I'm done putting this thing back together and see if it works. We'll decide if this is a every person mod or if this is the professionals. Okay, both sticks are on. I'm going to solder this back up real quick, and then I still have to reinstall my ribbon cable that I hopefully didn't destroy, and reinstall ultimately my Besavior mod while I'm here. So there's gonna be a few extra steps for me, but when I come back, we'll be testing this thing out. Finally, at long last, we have this thing back together, and it is time to hook it up to the computer and test it out, see what the results are. So we're back on Gamepad Tester. It's looking for a controller, so we're gonna just plug this guy in like that and press the PS button. Now the controller has shown up, and we can see it's a DualSense wireless controller, and we're just gonna move the analog stick around, and before you saw that jitter that we had, if I turn it and hold it right there, no more jitter. It is dead smooth, and it returns back to home every time. Now, I can do the same with this other side, and it's very linear results here from what I can see. The biggest thing is when I'm pushing it's so sensitive when I push the button down here, the controller moves a little bit, but it is what it is. And you can see we got full range of motion, and they always go back to 0. So overall, excellent result. Now, let's talk about what I've learned here. First thing that I've learned is this mod sucks. I kind of thought it sucked. I've actually had these for a few weeks now, just dreading making this video because I didn't really want to open up this controller again, mostly because the Besavior has a lot of stuff in there and it just adds extra complexity to the install. If you don't have a back paddle mod on your PlayStation controller, then it would be a little bit easier, but not really that much easier. You saw that we needed to use my desoldering station. My solder sucker is an absolute lifesaver. We did try to use the solder wick, and that didn't work as well as I had hoped that it would. And the solder sucker was definitely where it was at. You can see we did end up destroying our old analog sticks, which is no big deal. I wasn't going to keep these things anyway, but we did eventually get it out, and it looks like we haven't wrecked anything. The thing that anyone who has installed one of these Hall effect sensors is asking right now, or have done this install themselves and are now looking at this video, are saying, how on earth did you get these things to hit dead center like that every single time? The short answer is I actually had to do a calibration on this. The calibration sucks. I'm going to tell you that now. If you're watching this video and you're like, calibration? What do you mean? Well, check out this channel because I haven't done it yet, but I will be putting out a video on how to calibrate these things because they're not straightforward and it's a bit of a pain. And I turned to YouTube myself, and the videos that I found were not very descriptive. You have no idea what it is you're doing, and there's people just poking stuff in holes and you're like, I don't understand it. So I will explain it a lot better in a future video, but you saw how good my centering was on here when I was done. It's really, really good. So I am happy that my controller will live on. This thing should last me for quite a long time now. I did take a chance while I was in there to tighten up my back buttons so that they're a little bit more snappy as well. So overall, next thing for me to do is go and jump in a game and test this thing out just before I clean up in case I have to open it all up again. But that's where I'm gonna leave you guys at today. Overall, I'm not doing this ever again. I have 2 extras of these. I have no intention of using them because I never ever want to open up another DualSense controller and do this modification. It sucks. And I have experience doing these sorts of things already, so I certainly do not recommend this for a newbie. If you have a lot of courage and you want to give it a try, I will put links to everything that I've got here. You can grab those from the description, including the solder station, solder sucker, everything that you will need to do this install. And it helps support this channel a little bit as well. I hope you enjoyed this video. Put a comment down below. Tell me, have you tried this? What challenges did you face when you did this install, or would you consider doing this install? Let's talk about it. Hey, thanks for watching all the way to the end of this video. We hope you enjoy the content in this video, and we'd love to have you come back. Consider subscribing to the channel if you haven't already. And for those subscribers who are looking for that extra special thing that you can do to support this channel, consider joining our members group. That's where we're building this community, the Gears and Tech community, where we can all enjoy content together. You'll get special perks, which we'd love for you to check out by clicking the link down below. For those of you who are just happy to watch the video, that's okay too. You can check out some of our other content right over here, where we've got some previous videos that have already been uploaded and enjoyed by many of our viewers already. We do hope to see you again. This has been Gears and Tech. Have a great day.